right, John, the first thing I want to talk about is you and I have discussed how Sylvan has engineered the best deal in the segment.
Right.
I don't think franchise prospects get a great glimpse into this story, and I think there's value in you explaining it.
Okay, good. So I think it's a three-pronged story. First is we went out and did a lot of competitive research. We wanted to make sure we had the best business model in the industry, and that means to get in has to be the lowest or most effective pricing. Your ongoing costs have to be as low or better than our competition, and you have to drive a variable business model so that when the franchisees make money, we make money on there. So in terms of the upfront investment, we lowered our license fee, and more importantly, we lowered the square footage requirement, which we were able to do mainly because of the technology that we employ that allows franchisees to go outside of the center. So you can now have satellite locations in libraries, schools, community centers, which allow you to have a smaller fixed footprint but still reach as many families as you possibly can within the territory. That was number one. Number two, historically, like other franchisors, we had a royalty fee, then we had a national marketing fee, and you had a series of other fees related to that. What we've done is combine that all into one royalty that is all payable when you receive cash. So it makes your business very predictable, very variable related, and we set it up so that our total cost was actually less than the competition, and that fees that you pay to Sylvan cover your royalty, your national marketing, and all the other fees that might be associated with running a franchise. So we're pretty excited about what we've done. We think we have the best business model out there, not only based on cost, but our brand awareness is as high as, if not higher than everybody's, and our breadth of products are probably second to none.
So obviously there will be franchisees that buy competitor brands. If they can't, let's say you're in a networking
Those people
situation.
that didn't do the research they should have done.
Okay, exactly what I want to get into. Does it surprise you? I mean, is it that they didn't understand the opportunity? Is there some gap that you feel that the audience that is interested in an investment level like you in education would not land on you or not consider you?
So I think if somebody's looking at the education or supplemental education landscape, they've most likely heard of us, but they may have been introduced a different way through a different brand, and sometimes people don't do all the due diligence that we would like them to do, and I think they may have had an experience with a different provider which led them to investigate that. But like when we have people in the discovery days, we talk to all of them about investigate everybody because we do believe we have the best business model, we have the best brand. And to be very honest, at the end of the day, I'd much rather get franchisees in that have done the due diligence and the work, because that gives you an indication of the type of person that you're going to be bringing into the family. And if they have that kind of diligence and put in that kind of effort up front, that's going to make them successful with us.
You've spent a lot of time with your leadership team to prepare the brand for this next stage or the next chapter of its story. Right. Do you feel like now you're starting to see all of that come to fruition, that it took some time to build up momentum, or what do you feel needs to happen next?
So I think we had to fix things internally first. Most importantly, we had to fix the business model. We believe we've done that. Now it's our job to go out and spread the word, as I say. We've always had very happy customers. Our VOC scores are terrific. That has always helped us. But we're in the process of getting out there in the community and making sure people really understand what Sylvan's about. We came out with a new value proposition at the end of last year. We've only started our franchise development marketing. We came out with a very different marketing program this year, not just paid search. We're doing a lot of brand awareness marketing, both in the mid-funnel and high funnel, where we're doing display, Facebook, social media. All of that starting to pay off for us, because while our brand awareness is second to none, the reality is we've been in business for 40 years. And so we have a lot of people who are gone beyond the childbearing years that know a lot about Sylvan. We have to make sure that we're as well known with the millennials, and that's what a lot of the new value proposition and our marketing efforts is all about.
I'm fascinated with the category as well. For well over a decade, education and franchising has been right at the top of the perceived hottest franchises that exist.
Right.
What fascinates me is in your segment, you've been on the forefront of technology. It's almost like the restaurant industry is playing catch up to where you guys set the standard, because now they're trying to figure out how does it integrate into the model, where you fix some of the labor challenges, some of the education challenges, some of the delivery challenges. Do you feel that education as an entire category, both big box and small box and at home, has remained at the top, partly because of its ability to constantly evaluate and innovate?
Yeah, I think what's interesting about Sylvan, I joke, I was just at a education conference, and there were all these ed tech companies in there talking about personalized learning and using technology to deliver that personalized learning. We've been doing it for 5 or 6 years, so I joked, I think we may be the most ed tech of education companies out there. And that's because, you know, we're very passionate about what we do, and we're passionate about the education and the programs that we deliver. We have them evaluated by third parties, but we've also invested continuously in the not only the content, but the use of technology, and I think that's what's helped keep us on the forefront of the technology spectrum. And I think that's the way of the world. When you have Apple, Microsoft all trying to get into the education arena and provide technology to make learning more effective, if you don't stay abreast of that, you're going to be left behind. And I feel fortunate that we have stayed abreast of that, as opposed to, you know, most of our competition.
One thing you mentioned was we had to fix some things, and I'm always interested how leaders take the approach to building out a leadership team that they can trust to get that done.
Right.
What things or processes did you put in place to make sure you had the proper team, not only to protect previous franchisees, but employees and the go forward of the brand? Right.
Well, that's interesting, because, you know, we got new owners about 3 years ago, which infused us with some capital to be able to invest. And at the same time, there was a lot of change going on in the organization, and almost everybody that reports directly to me at this point was either new to their position or new to the company at that time. So we brought in a lot of new thoughts, a lot of new energy, and as a team, we built this program together. This plan, this strategy was not a one-person show. It was a team of us that worked together, who everybody felt like they had a lot of input. And then we went to our new owners and sold that strategy as a team. So there's tremendous buy-in and belief in what we're trying to do, because they were part of the building process.
Was it challenging at all to get, because obviously in a system like yours, you have many different departments that have to come together. Were there challenges that you had to overcome, and how did you do that as a leader?
Absolutely. I think what's important as part of that process is you bring divergent views in. You can't have everybody that feels the exact same way. And I feel like I have a really strong, passionate team who have strong points of view. So we had to set some ground rules in the beginning, which was everybody's vote counts, everybody's opinion should be respected. And I think what was interesting, when we worked hard at listening to each other, in total our ideas got way better. And I think that's worked very successfully, and as a result, I feel like I have a great team that's very cohesive.
When you took over the reins as CEO, was team at the top of your to-do list of things that you had to put in place, or did you put processes in place and then build out the team?
I think by necessity it was team. first, because when you go through an ownership change, especially from a situation where there wasn't a lot of investment, there was some feeling of a little bit of apathy, to be honest, to a point where you have investment dollars and new energy and things like that. It's critical that you get the right team, and so I'd say we focused on team first, and then focused on strategy.
Let's leave it with this. Now that you've put the groundwork in place, you're getting some of the engine going. Temperature on the future for the brand right now?
Well, a lot of exciting things. Like I said earlier, we've just really started investing in franchise development. We've sold 11 new territories so far this year. Our pipeline is terrific. And then we've had some very nice international expansions happen for us, which is great. We're into Vietnam over the last year. And it looks like we're going to get the 32 centers there. And the biggest deal, we signed a 200 center deal in China just a few months ago. And we have some, as a result of those transactions, we've had people from a number of other countries. So I couldn't be more excited about where we are. And I'd say, in a 40-year history, you go through some ebbs and flows. We're back on a rise.
As a leader, I'm sure you can never reach satisfaction level.
Right.
It's impossible to get there. But at least some of the processes that you put in place are starting to show that there is a return on that investment.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the new business model, the new license agreement has paid great dividends to us. The franchise development efforts are paying great dividends. The fact that we've stayed abreast of technology is really benefiting us right now. To the point where, I feel like we have the best programs out there. We have the best technology in our business, and like I said, I feel like we're on a roll.
It's great. So. Really appreciate it. Thanks for swinging by.
Thank you.
Okay.